is, and always has been, and will be, the greatest spectacle in racing. This is the Indianapolis 500.
Get ready, green.
Scott McLaughlin in the yellow submarine leads the field to green. Will Power is on the outside.
Look back though at Santino Ferrucci. It's Stars and Stripes goes right to P4. Ferrucci's on the hunt with the three Penske's leading.
Further back, I think the blue and orange car of Scott Dixon. Oh, we got a crash at the back.
That's Marcus Ericsson. Around goes Pietro Fittipaldi.
And I believe is that Catherine?
Tom
no, 66.
The Meyer-Shank Racing rookie. There's Ericsson, car destroyed, banging the steering wheel. His Indy 500 probably over.
The guy who almost won back-to-back in 22 and 23 is out of the race, and so too is the rookie Tom Blomqvist.
Ericsson, of course, starting right near the back on that final row, and Townsend back there. There is so much dirty air. This is a completely green racetrack, and by that I mean there's no rubber on it from all the rain we've had, and just look at the frustration from Ericsson.
And guys, the irony is that this is exactly the same mistake that took Marcus Ericsson out on qualifying practice. Tom Blomqvist in the 66 get his left front tire on the rumble strip. It unweighted the car, it sent him backwards, and it takes out Marcus Ericsson.
Yeah,
watch Blomqvist up front on the left.
You just
there it is.
Get onto that gray concrete patch. Just a first-time Indy 500 competitor, first corner of the first lap. One of the classic mistakes, rookie error. There's really no other way to put it, Townsend.
Wow, this has been a rough start for 2 of the 6 rookies. Tell us more, Kevin Lee.
So this is 4 now out of the race. Marcus Armstrong is done. They have lost power to his Honda.
Oh my, that's Marcus Ericsson and Marcus Armstrong, Pietro Fittipaldi and Tom Blomqvist. 4 of the 33 are out. Scott McLaughlin and the Pennzoil Chevy at the front of the field. There's moves happening, there's passes being made. Callum Eilot's in trouble, he's being swapped. It's Kyle Larson, and there's contact with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Hunter-Reay with the hip check to Larson. Something went horribly wrong for Kyle Larson on the restart. James, we've been talking about this as they go too wide in turn 1.
Marty said it's one of the things Larson was most worried about, because you don't get to practice restarts. We have thousands of laps of practice, dozens of hours, but this is one thing you don't experience to the race. Kyle Larson getting caught out there.
Look at the front too. Oh, there's somebody going on the fringe of the grass.
I think it's Kirkwood.
Kyle Kirkwood, and around the outside goes Colton Herta.
Oh, wheel spin. He was in first gear, James, and that... He went to 4th or 3rd gear. He upshifted.
I think he had a wheel spin moment, and as he went to correct the spin, remember the shift paddles are on the back of that steering wheel. It sounds like he caught a gear and upshifted. Here's from Herta's view.
Green.
So the car in front of Herta was out of line before that green came.
Sato?
That's Sato.
So that could be what is under review. Kyle Larson not doing anything wrong from a legality standpoint, just a procedural one.
Oh, and we've got more trouble. Catherine Legg.
Catherine Legg, the only
get low.
woman in the race for Dale Coyne Racing, the Elf Honda. And that's not a great sign. This is similar to Marcus Armstrong. Kat did such a great job in qualifying. It was nerve-wracking, but she showed her grit and speed and talent to put a car in the field again. So it's Stingray Rob for AJ Foyt Racing, who is going to bring this field back to green. Connor Daly is the second car. Then Christian Lundgaard in the Hy-Vee Honda. Look out as they all go into turn 1.
It is a baby dragon down the front straightaway for Stingray Rob, and Connor Daly just chewed it up and grabs the lead with ease.
Ferrucci around the outside. He rounds up Will Power in that Verizon Chevy. Look at the stars and stripes, center of your screen. Ferrucci's on the move.
He's got ahead of both the Penske's of Newgarden and Power, trying to follow Scott McLaughlin's lead side by side, and that's Herta on Award. Herta in the yellow and white car.
Side by side, they go around the outside of Will Power. That's Rosenqvist on Power.
Great move from Felix on board now with Pato Award. That's Palou in front, and Linus Lundqvist in the wall. The caution is out.
It's another rookie.
Jinx. You owe me a Coke. And that is in turn 2, guys. He ended in turn 2, very similar to where he ended that practice crash. I think it started a lot earlier.
And I don't know if it's the 4-hour delay, guys, but it is too aggro right now. Way too gnarly for 28 laps in.
Yeah.
The way that mid-pack is driving. I don't know how much caffeine they had.
We got to see how that started.
James, it looked like 4 wide
It
into
was,
one.
but who was the last one to the party? Because that's the golden rule in those 3 and 4 wide situations. Last in, first out. Linus got a little loose from the bottom there. He did a good job catching it about 3 times, but
I mean, but 4 wide into turn 1, it's just insanity.
But that's why I want to see how they started. Who got there last? Ferrucci's been using that high line to great effect. Now others are joining the fight. You see Power side by side trying to get a few spots back. Remember, Ferrucci was behind him before that second caution.
Wow, look at this. Daly on the inside of Rock. 4 wide almost into turn 3. Herder, Palou, and Rosenquist.
No lessons learned after that last crash. Everybody just as psycho mid to farther back.
He said something about slow, man.
He said, we are so slow as Connor Daly's looking out on the inside of McLaughlin to take the lead back at the Speedway.
Clear. Focus forward. Nice job, brother.
Daly back at the front. These 2 Chevrolet-powered cars at the front are on different strategies, but the polka dot Chevy for Dreyer Reinbold Racing with Cusick leads the Indy 500.
Felix making it 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, his old teammate Pato O'Ward in front of him there.
Those are some late moves on Graham Rahal. How about this in the short shoot? That's the one Kyle Larson thought about early on in the race, but he had the momentum to make it work this time.
Guys, Will Power has fallen way down. He's in 14th right now, about to lose his spot. He got boxed in by Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon clears the 12, and he'll get Graham Rahal on the 15 in one go.
Caution's out. What's it for? Oh, it's Felix Rosenquist. It's another Honda.
That is the 3rd Honda.
Should I just park it there?
Bring it in if you can.
And Rosenquist was having a great run.
It was Chevrolet that had the challenges in qualifying. Now it's Honda in the race.
Something to remember, guys, is a lot of these motors went in these cars for the first time on Friday, only had 2 hours of running. Conditions quite a bit different, and these engines are tuned to within such a small margin of the tolerances for absolute performance. When you have a huge change in conditions, be it temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, that can really throw things off. Say that he thought Rossi held him up. He did have to hit the brakes for Rossi's release, but look at the green and black car, Rinus VeeKay, being investigated for an unsafe release.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a drive-through because you are not supposed to go straight to the high line with cars running there. As you see, Alex Palou gets the knife out here and goes. Here we go, 4 wide again on the front stretch, up front. Daly Robb, but Scott McLaughlin says, this is my corner.
Herder around the outside in the yellow, white and black Cambridge Honda. Newgarden goes, Palou goes, Power goes around the outside.
Palou to the outside in turn 1. Can he
boy. Oh boy, that is close, but Palou makes it work. I thought they were gonna touch.
Christian Rasmussen wanted to get on the inside there. He's getting to mix it up.
And Kyle Larson continues to learn so much there, sits behind Rasmussen, but is able to see the Ferrucci's and Newgarden Palou battle.
Oh no, big crash, and it's Colton Herder. Herder and the Cambridge Honda is out. What happened to one of the pre-race favorites who was running in 2nd place and looking great?
Sorry.
I'd like to see him hang on here before he hops out because I think the front wing's damaged. I don't know about the rest of the car.
We didn't see a lot, but he is quick. He must know something we don't, Townsend, because he is quick to get out.
Right front, left front looks okay. Left rear, right rear.
We're in the wall, guys.
James, I don't know what happened. It sounded a little weird, almost like the driveline locked up a bit. It was a weird loose sound, but I'll go back. He didn't hit anything on all 4 corners. Maybe the left front a little bit.
Maybe, but you could do it. You could do a steering arm or something like that, but he had a huge save Kind of reminiscent of that testing spin when he was having to avoid Will Power. No, I don't think the left front even touched.
Did.
I think it's just a nose cone, Townsend.
Man, he should stay in that thing.
News from race control. Kyle Kirkwood from Andretti Global will need to come to pit lane. Avoidable contact for hitting Callum Eilert on pit lane.
I don't know about that. I would appeal that if it's possible, James. We'll look at a replay later. But I think Callum Eilert never transitioned out of the fast lane for his stop. He just jammed on the brakes. Watch this. I don't know about that call. Everybody's jacked up, and Callum Eilert really should be fading to straddle that pit lane and show that his box is coming up. You can't expect Kyle Kirkwood to know where Callum Eilert's pit is.
And in the lower box, Colton Herter has been told, get back in. The Gainbridge Honda's fine. We're going to fire it up, and you need to go back out there. Remember, this is one race of 17 in the NTT IndyCar Series. All season long, you can still go out there and get points. The RLL cars stay out. The remaining RLL cars stay out. Let's show you this. On board, the Arrow McLaren Chevy Pato Award. Whoa, that's why we call him the Ninja. The Ninja is fighting.
Left front on the rumble strip, and ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen a double save like that.
And it's not just that he slid, he spun the tires up. You heard the engine RPM increase twice. That was wheel spin off of 2.
You can normally get away with 1, but not 2.
If you're one of the drivers, I'm not sure how you tell. They've been racing like it's the last 20 laps.
Yellow.
The drop of the green.
Again. Oh, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Broken steering arm on the right or the left front.
Great job to keep that car down and not spear back onto the racetrack into the path of oncoming cars, T-Bell.
What was the fade? Was that Dixon?
It was Scott Dixon. Whoa.
And then a 360-degree spin through the grass in front of traffic at over 200 miles an hour. That's a terrifying moment for a driver.
We've got 2 former winners. Watch Scott Dixon, watch his head while we're looking off to the side, now to the back. Here comes Hunter-Reay. That sure looks like a move in reaction to, James.
And Scott McLaughlin, they're side by side over the yard of bricks, heading into turn 1, and it's going to be the yellow submarine that takes the lead on the restart. McLaughlin back to the front.
Ferrucci on the outside of Rossi as well. We got cars high, we got a spin.
Andretti, Marco Andretti.
Just
Andretti Global.
For the 7th time today, this is what happened to Marco. He's right in the middle of that pack.
Just starts walking around on him super early. He gets into effectively a tank slapper, if you've ever had that on a motorcycle, and he just keeps chasing it, and then finally has to lock it down here on the, I mean, that is like 6 big tail wags.
Now Rossi on the inside of Newgarden for second.
There's a change. Rossi in the Arrow McLaren Chevy splits the Team Penske machines, and Santino Ferrucci for AJ Foyt Racing runs 4th.
And these top 5 drivers have the ultimate challenge. Be aggressive, make moves, but don't burn too much fuel in doing it. They're still trying to extend their window. They want to get to probably lap 135 before they pit.
All right, so how much longer can McLaughlin, Rossi, Ferrucci go? Here comes McLaughlin, here comes Kyle Larson, here comes Augustine Canapino.
Oh, big lockup from Kyle Larson, way past the cone there. We've seen this before, guys. A good 500, Dylan, come unglued in pit lane.
And there you go. Kyle Larson does indeed get a penalty. You heard Brian Campy say it. He will have to come down pit road, and that's one of the things that he was worried about, is how he would handle pit road. He's going to have to do a drive-through for speeding, Kevin.
There's Ferrucci coming out of the pits.
Look at this, look at this. It's a drag race, but the power and the advantage is going to go to Rossi. Rossi has got McLaughlin. Palou gets by Ferrucci. Here's Rasmussen and Newgarden. Whoa!
This looks like an Indy Next race.
They are closing doors left, right, and center on each other. Rasmussen getting really squirrely.
This kid is not scared. He goes up into the wall. Elio Castro Neves in the blue and white machine. He's looking for a way through. He's fighting with Canapino and Rasmussen and McLaughlin. McLaughlin goes up the inside.
All right, buddy, settle back in your rhythm. No pressure back. Auto 3.
Big one for Will Power. It's over for the Verizon Chevy.
It's a huge one for Will Power.
And that's not what Scott Dixon wanted to see. It allows the field that needed to stretch fuel to catch up.
On the outside of Christian Rasmussen.
Inside. Clear low.
Just got high, got loose, and got in the wall. We've seen so many drivers hang it up on the outside there.
Well, we kept wondering, how is the track clean enough? And I think we finally found the point of this race where the debris, the tire dust, the marbles are too much to handle.
Here comes Pato up the inside and Rossi on the outside.
3 into 1 doesn't work. Dixon falls, but 3 behind him. Joseph Newgarden up high around VK and Palou. We got a car up high, but keeps it out of the wall.
Newgarden thinks he's at Iowa Speedway.
Errol McLaren with the flex on that restart. Rossi going big, Award going strong, and further back it's getting dicey.
All right, back onto the front straight. Here comes Scott Dixon. The blue and orange PNC back Honda takes the lead. Look at Newgarden in third. He's all over the back of Pato Award. So the question now is, how much longer will Dixon go, knowing that Rossi has made his last stop?
Well, Dixon feels like he has absolutely decided to put his head down and go for it. Remember, Dixon carrying more fuel. He's in range now to make one more stop, James. So if he pits now, they won't have to fill for as long.
Rossi gets ahead of Newgarden.
And these two cars will blend with those that just pitted. Dixon and Award, there they are in the short chute. This is the battle for the win of the Indy 500.
Watch over here, coming out, Dixon, but the others are at speed.
Rossi gets a little bit of a toe off Award. Both him and Newgarden now going side by side. Newgarden uses the pick on the outside. Dixon getting up to speed. Joseph has momentum. Will he get him on the front straight?
Newgarden has a ton of momentum. Dixon still trying to accelerate. They'll catch each other at the end of the front stretch.
Both of these men are Indianapolis 500 winners, but here comes Newgarden, blasting up the inside of Dixon.
Canapino holding strong.
And he's creating a gap between Newgarden and Dixon.
Yeah,
and look,
fellow Chevy car as well.
Newgarden already starting to swerve on the straightaways to break the draft as Rossi moves out on Dixon and takes over what's effectively second place.
Yeah, that's a big move right there. Dixon falling back, struggling a bit at this point in the stint, I think, on balance.
So what is that last lap going to look like as Award follows his teammate, but Rossi goes back to the front?
It's a little strange there, the rate at which Rossi was able to pass Newgarden. He just had a massive wiggle in the short chute.
A little bit sharper on the front, little looser of a race car as Rossi now going to lose one spot to Newgarden. Is he going to lose a second
Here
to
comes
Award?
Pato! Pato on the inside.
Oh boy, the back of the number 5 car, Pato Award snaking on the entry to turn 1. That thing is forklifting its way through the corner right now.
2 laps to go, and Pato's got his teammate Alexander Rossi right behind as well. Newgarden, Award, Rossi, Dixon, and Palou.
You can see the balance in that race car. He is nervous. He is balancing that thing on the absolute edge.
You know what to do now.
Great job hanging on to it. He's got a nice run coming to turn 3.
And decides not to take it. That tells you everything you need to know.
That shocks me.
If a yellow comes out now, we can't red flag it.
White flag, amigo. White flag.
White flag, amigo.
Here it comes.
There has never been a Mexican driver win the Indianapolis 500. Maybe that time is now. With one more lap to go, Pato goes to the lead.
He's not going to lift this time. He did it against Ericsson and lost Pato Award to the front off of turn 2.
5 back. 6 back.
Award tries to break the draft. Newgarden's like, I've been in this situation before. Joseph Newgarden around the outside of Pato Award. This is mind-blowing. Joseph Newgarden had to wait 12 times to win it, and now he's going to do it back-to-back. Joseph Newgarden is a 2-time Indy 500 winner. Oh my goodness.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.